Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are completely tearing down the comfortable illusions of the modern career path. We've all been sold a very specific story, right? Work hard, show loyalty to your company, get those steady promotions, and eventually you'll retire comfortably right around age 60. But what if I told you that literally everything we thought we knew about corporate loyalty and linear retirement planning is fundamentally broken? Today, we're diving into the hard data that proves, without a doubt, the system has completely changed.
Okay, so here is our agenda for today. We're going to tackle 5 critical realities: the hidden loyalty tax, AI and career tribes, the urban wealth squeeze, rethinking retirement math, and finally, how to become anti-fragile. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The hidden loyalty tax, and why staying actually costs you.
It's time to talk about something nobody inside the corporate system, not your HR manager, and definitely not your skip-level boss, is ever going to tell you straight to your face. Corporate systems are actively designed to penalize your tenure. Seriously. The standard internal merit increase budget usually runs at about 9% for loyal employees. But then, if you look at the acquisition premium, companies will happily pay 20 to 50% above the market rate just to poach someone with your exact same skills from the outside. So, if you stay, you might go from earning, say, 20 units to 22 next year. But if you leave, you walk into 25 or 26 immediately. Over just 3 years, the compounding gap between the person who stayed and the person who moved can result in a massive 40 to 50% difference in total earnings. It's wild.
And this brings us to a really massive HR shift going on right now: skill-based pay. You know those average salary increase reports you read in the news? Yeah, they are basically lying to you. A traditional developer with 10 years of experience is getting a standard, honestly, kind of stagnant increment. Meanwhile, an AI prompt engineer with just 3 years of experience is being placed in a completely different exploding pay band. Your pay is now tied entirely to the scarcity of your specific skills. Skills that are scarce command huge premiums. Skills that are abundant, or worse, easily automated, will just never fetch a premium again. We're living in a split reality.
Moving on to Section 2, AI and Career Tribes, the shifting ground in tech.
Now, macroeconomic indicators might constantly boast about GDP growth, but I want you to really think about this shockingly low number: 17. In a recent financial year, India's top 5 IT companies, these are the massive giants that literally built the middle-class economy by absorbing hundreds of thousands of graduates every year, added a combined net total of just 17 employees. Not 17,000, 17. The mass recruitment engine has effectively been switched off.
So why is this happening? Well, revenue per employee has risen to about $13,400. That classic pyramid model of hiring thousands of freshers for basic coding, testing, and support, it's crumbling. Junior roles are being downsized and permanently replaced by AI agents. AI is cheaper, faster, it doesn't take leaves, and it definitely never asks for a ping pong table in the break room. From a pure business margin standpoint, this restructure is fantastic. But for entry-level talent stepping in with traditional expectations, it is absolutely devastating.
Because of this massive shift, basically every professional now falls into one of 3 career tribes. First, you have the displaced. Their roles are structurally eroding right out from under them because the economic logic of their job just changed. Second, the pivoting. These folks are actively repositioning into skill adjacencies, like, say, moving toward mechatronics, which is this really cool intersection of mechanical design, electronics, and computing. And third, the thriving. These people are in ridiculously high demand because their roles require human judgment and complexity management that AI simply cannot navigate. So you really have to ask yourself, which tribe are you in right now?
All right, Section 3, the urban wealth squeeze, or the actual cost of staying put.
Listen, if you're living in a major metro or an IT corridor right now, you are feeling a very visceral crunch. The number in your bank account might technically be a bit higher than it was 5 years ago, but your actual purchasing power is dropping fast. Just think about family expenses. A staggering 81% of parents recently faced private school fee hikes of over 10%. Annual primary school fees are now running anywhere from 1.5 to 2.5 lakhs per child. If you have 2 kids, a standard fee hike means you have to somehow find an additional 90,000 to 1.5 lakh rupees a year completely out of pocket, while your job only gave you a measly 9% increment. So here is the absolutely crucial takeaway. Job switching is no longer about blind ambition or climbing the corporate ladder to boost your ego. No, to keep your kids in the exact same school and just maintain your current standard of living in the same city, the raw economics demand a 25% to 35% income correction every 2 to 3 years. Getting that 30% jump by finding another job is quite literally a middle-class survival mechanism now.
Section 4. Rethinking Retirement Math, the ultimate middle-class myth.
Okay, this is where we need to have a really uncomfortable conversation, and we're going to shatter a myth that has done enormous damage to an entire generation of savers. The unwritten, completely unspoken corporate retirement age in high-velocity sectors like tech, sales, and marketing, it's no longer 60, it is 45. By 45, a huge number of professionals are either being quietly asked to leave, voluntarily stepping down, or finding it incredibly tough to get hired because they're suddenly viewed as too costly or out of touch. Think about the terrifying biological reality of this new timeline. Let's say you start your career in your 20s and you get pushed out at 45. That means you had about 20 years of active earning and saving. But if your biological life expectancy is 80 or more, you are staring down 35 years of life post-corporate usefulness. You're literally spending almost double the amount of time in retirement than you actually did actively building your wealth in the corporate hierarchy.
And that brings us to the brutal math. The old 1 crore retirement dream that everyone talks about? Yeah, it's completely dead. If you have a corpus of 1 crore with monthly expenses of 50,000 rupees and you factor in realistic inflation, that money is only going to last you about 14 years. It is totally gone by the time you hit 60. To survive comfortably for say 32 years with 1 lakh in monthly expenses, a realistic urban middle class requirement is actually a 5 to 6 crore corpus.
And honestly, that 5 crore requirement doesn't even fully factor in the hidden costs of modern aging. The traditional joint family structure, which historically absorbed the heavy costs and actual physical labor of elder care, is completely breaking down as kids move to other cities or entirely different countries. Professional elder care alone now costs anywhere from 25,000 to 1.5 lakhs a month. You combine that with exponential healthcare inflation, and the financial burden that shifts directly onto your shoulders becomes absolutely immense.
Section 5. Becoming Anti-Fragile. This is your new career playbook.
Okay, take a breath. I know, the data we just went through is incredibly harsh, but our goal here is definitely not panic. The goal is to shift you from anxiety to agency. If the old system is fundamentally broken, well, we simply have to build a new playbook. You need to become what we call an anti-fragile professional. What does that mean? It means you absolutely have to stop viewing your single, full-time employment as your entire economic engine. Actually, scratch that. Your employment should just be a byproduct of the personal market value you've built. You must develop multiple income streams so that if one corporate structure fails you, your financial stability remains completely 100% intact.
So let's look at what this playbook actually looks like in the real world. For senior executives, it's taking on fractional CXO roles, so working on retainers for 3 or 4 companies simultaneously, doing high-level work strictly on your own terms. For mid-level professionals, it's building a portfolio career. That means treating your day job as just an anchor while actively running consulting gigs, freelance projects, or maybe content creation on the side. And for absolutely everyone, it requires relentless upskilling into adjacent fields, making sure your skills are so rare they always command a premium. I really want you to internalize this quote directly from our source material. Stop assuming that a particular system will take care of you. Build your systems, build your market value. You have to remember, corporate systems are beautifully, precisely designed for generating business profit. They are not designed for your lifelong protection. Your employment is just a side product of their profit generation.
So I'm going to leave you with this one critical thought as we wrap up this explainer. I want you to take a hard look at your skills, look at your income, and really look at your retirement math. Are you blindly relying on a system that is actively penalizing your loyalty? Or are you taking control today to build your own? Thanks so much for joining me, and honestly, it's time to get to work on your own systems.